Hello and welcome to another Royally Rich Lifestyle Show with me, Ian Penham-Turner.
And with myself, Helena Shard.
Let's roll the titles and let's get on with this incredible show. Well, we have a packed show today, but we have some incredible royal news as well. So over to Helena.
So, President Emmanuel Macron and his wife are here in the UK, as everyone knows. It's a 3-day state visit, and it's going amazingly well. I haven't been part of it as such, but I've seen a lot of the reporting, and the red carpet's been rolled out. We've got so much happening, pomp and pageantry and the whole ceremonial welcome that was given to them when they arrived. The Prince and Princess of Wales met them both at RAF Northolt before they did a Windsor carriage procession. And from there they rode to Windsor Castle, where they had the ceremonial introduction with the King and Queen. So all really great. And I have to say, the Princess of Wales looked amazingly beautiful in pink. It looked so pretty. Christian Dior and a hat by Jess Collett. And beautiful earrings as well that were the late Princess Diana's. So it's always lovely to see that. And I have to say, the actual outfit, Christian Dior, is modelled on a 1947 look, which Christian Dior himself actually designed. So we love that. So it's been great fun, and obviously we have the wonderful banquet which took place. Now that was absolutely star-studded.
And I think we're just watching.
We're watching the arrival,
and here now is the banquet as well.
So, absolutely. I mean, the banquet. I mean, absolutely to die for in Windsor Castle. That huge table, which looks phenomenal, very different to the setup in Buckingham Palace, which is sort of like a horseshoe table, but it's really beautiful to see and completely star-studded. You know, we had obviously the royal family looking amazing, but there was Sir Elton John and Mick Jagger. It was roughly 160 guests, and obviously Prince Edward and Sophie, and it was in the historic St George's Hall. Absolutely amazing. I have to say, the Givenchy gown that the Princess of Wales was wearing, absolutely amazing, and her favourite tiara, which is the Lover's Knot tiara, and it's Sarah Burton, I think, that designs for Givenchy now, and of course she was Alexander McQueen, which was Princess of Wales' favourite designer, so no doubt the warrant will be a special. And that's King Charles giving the speech, a fabulous speech. I mean, this is all obviously to show the similarities, the connection between UK and France, and the whole working together to confront threats and defence technology and obviously climate change. So there's lots of things. I mean, I'm sure he spoke French, as he normally does on these occasions, King. So all really beautiful. And now, today, in fact, there's more that's going on. I think
we're seeing the long table now as well.
Oh, that's the long table. Yeah, that's phenomenal. I mean, the late Queen Elizabeth, if you remember, she used to always, like the day before, the night before, because it takes such a long time, weeks, I think, to get everything sorted. She always used to go around checking that everything was just
in line, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I wonder whether Queen Camilla or even King Charles, I imagine, would do that. I'd love to know. We need to just find out whether that's a fact or not. We'll find out. But really good fun, and it was lovely as well to see the Princess of Wales. We were told last minute by Kensington Palace that she would attend, so that obviously is very exciting. And also she was wearing the wonderful sash as well. It's the Order of King Charles III, so it's a very special sash, and I believe it's the first time she's worn it publicly. So that's all very beautiful. And moving on, although we can see them all having fun there,
absolutely,
around the table, And I did hear little bits and pieces that Macron was caught winking at Princess of Wales while they were having a chat. He may well have had something in his eye.
He's French.
And also what was good fun as well is that, because obviously Macron's quite short, as is King Charles. So he sort of was saying to King Charles, this was a cheeky thing that, you know, gosh, your son, that's Prince William, is tall. And obviously Prince William heard, and King Charles said, yes, he's 6'1", and of course he's 6'3". So it was an interjected. So was it? Yeah. So that was fun. Very good fun. So Prince William, moving on, Prince William is actually, I think today, he's got an important overseas mission, a trip to visit the Lionesses. And as we know, he loves football. He's also, he's the patron, I think, isn't he, of the Football Association?
Yes, I think
the president. Yeah, that's right, the president. And he always travels out, so he's actually travelling to Switzerland to see them play. Will the Lionesses defend their crown? Will they?
The other day I was so disappointed.
I know. They actually lost to France,
They lost to
as well?
France, and they just didn't seem in the game at all, so I'm hoping there's a better result.
I so hope so. So Prince William obviously is going to give them a zhuzh, I would say, and he's travelling on his own. Although I have this sneaky, well, maybe it's something I want. I would love Prince George, or even Prince Louis to go along as well. But, or both of them.
I can't imagine Louis on a plane, you know, being quiet. But
anyway, so we'll wait and see. That's very, very soon, St George's Park. Well, actually, Prince William gave them their jerseys in St George's Park not so long ago. Anyway, so moving on, so everyone's still flocking to Wimbledon. That's for the Tennis Wimbledon Championships, which began in 1877. Unfortunately, I think we don't have any British players in the game. I believe, is it Norrie? I think he was defeated yesterday.
yes.
There's been quite a lot of illnesses actually and injuries, which is something.
Yeah.
But we hope that the Princess of Wales will be there this weekend, at Centre Court in the Royal Box. We really, really hope so, because obviously she is the royal patron of the All England Lawn and Tennis Croquet Club. Not patron, it's patron. And we're hoping that she will be there, and hoping that there won't be implications.
She's still doing some sterling work at the moment anyway, isn't she? I mean, there's been a little bit of criticism recently, and I think that's unfair, you know, that she's still recovering.
Yeah, she is still, but she's still doing a huge amount of work. I mean, we see her out and about. Maybe we're not being advised as much. She'll suddenly turn up somewhere, but she's equally doing a great work, or whether she'd be hosting her early years project in Windsor as well that she was doing. So she's working incredibly hard.
Yes.
And I think moving on from Wimbledon, which is just something small, which does, in a way, it is relevant because it shows change within the royal family. But going from tennis to King Charles has scrapped a long-standing tradition, and this tradition.
This is crazy
I know it's crazy, but I do feel that change is change. You know, when Queen Elizabeth was around, nothing ever changed, but it's just simply down to what they wear. So the synergy between the tennis courts at Buckingham Palace and obviously, you know, Wimbledon is that they had to wear white always, but now it's been changed that people can wear different colours and suit themselves as long as it's you know, obviously okay kind of outfit. But you know, the funny thing about it as well is that King Charles doesn't really like tennis. I don't think the late Queen Elizabeth liked tennis that much. I think they're more horse people. Well, King Charles is now. But anyway, I just think it's great. What it's doing is relaxing, and it's the synergy between things that are happening now, which are slightly more relaxed within the royal family. That's what I say. And I know I've got Ian giggling and sighing next to me, saying, this is ludicrous.
I thought when I first heard about this story, because we were asked by another media company to talk about this, and I thought, this, I was just checking that this wasn't April Fool's joke in July, because that Charles is now relaxed the colour of what someone can wear in his tennis court. I think it's almost like it goes.
Oh, well, look, it's a little bit of fun as
What can I
well.
say?
And hey, I've never played tennis on those private courts. Have you?
Well,
I'd quite like to. They're in the gardens.
I think the other thing that was interesting, and I wonder whether they're talking about, because there's a thing called real tennis as well, and real tennis was the preamble of tennis as they play today, and that used to be a major royal project, really a sport, real tennis, but I can't remember which royal played real tennis, but it's almost like a game of squash, because the ball
update
comes off the
people
walls
next
as well.
week. We'll update you next week.
Absolutely.
As to who the royal is.
Absolutely.
And moving on now, a slice of cake. Now, it reminds me of Marks and Spencer's and the strawberry and cream sandwiches that have sold out, and they actually do taste like cake. But late Queen Elizabeth II's wedding cake, all those years ago in 1947, there's a lovely picture of it, 9 foot high. Can you believe it? So a slice has been sold, well, lots of slices have been sold, but recently for nearly £3,000. It's an alcohol and fruit cake slice, and made in 1947, as I said, and it was designed by the chief confectioner at McVitie and Price. There you go. But the fun thing about this is that it's been passed down through a family, and it was packaged lovely, saying "On His Majesty's service." It now is with Mr. Leighton, who's celebrating a 60-something birthday on board Britannia, so that's in Edinburgh. And he's got this slice, and he said he's going to eat a third of it. He's going to eat a third of it. No, but what he's going to do, he said he's going to have it flambéed, so in rum. So then it will get rid of any bacteria, and then if anything did happen to him, he said he'd be.
He's going to sue them.
No, he said he'd be going out in style, because in Royal Yacht Britannia, he's having he'll have the best time of his life.
I was just trying to work out. So there's this 9-foot cake, as we've shown the photograph of this 9-foot cake, but traditionally, normally it's the top tier of the cake that's cut. How on earth did they get that?
I have no idea, but I think it's lovely. I mean, goodness me, cake, surely. I mean, you can imagine, I just don't know. It must have so much alcohol in it. That's all I can say. It's how alcohol has completely preserved it.
In the royal family
for all of these years. All really lovely. So, and we've got other royal news.
Yes.
In fact, we have royal breaking news.
And I think that's going to be happening later on in the show as well. So for the minute, thank you so much. I mean,
you don't have to thank me, Ian.
That's got to be the most entertaining royal news for ages now. I mean, the idea of flambeing a wedding cake from 1947, and then Charles changes the rules on all whites in tennis.
A little bit of fun.
I mean, what more could you want in our show?
Do you know what? We need to go and film it. Royal Yacht Britannia.
Royal Yacht. Oh, we've been
a day
there.
out. I know we have.
We visited the Royal.
It's fascinating. I think I could do with another trip there. So
absolutely.
Let's do that.
We will do that. We will do that. So now we're just going to come on to a couple of news items. And really part of the show now is going to be on the luxury style of lifestyle that you could have in London, but also before that, really the sad news that the Bentley Flying Spur car, which is £300,000 in Britain, £400,000 in America, has now had this 10% tariff put on it by President Trump. And so Bentley have decided that that's now put up the price of the car in America to $440,000. And guess what, America? you're not going to get any more Bentley cars at the moment. They've decided that they're not going to send over any more cars until this situation allows itself to come back to normal. What do you think about that, Helen?
Well, there you go. What can I say? Well, one, amazing. Need to have a drive around in this Bentley flying spur, which sounds amazing.
And I think we've got an image of it somewhere as well.
I think we've been showing
it's
it.
the most incredible car. What a beautiful looking car.
It is,
and
absolutely.
all the luxury in this car as well.
Beautiful.
And it's a very popular vehicle in America, for sales in America.
Well, they haven't any more.
They're going to stop it. They're going to stop it for the time being.
Absolutely.
And good on Bentley, I say. Good on Bentley.
Apparently the BMW 7 and the Range Rover were commended. It's Bentley, because me and cars don't go together that well. So Bentley's a separate brand from BMW.
They're all separate brands, but as I say, I just think it was just interesting at the moment how America, for a little time, will not be getting some of the luxury of London.
I think cut your nose off to spite your face springs to mind.
Absolutely. And now we're just going to show you a typical type of really opulent house that you can buy in London these days. And this house is just under 13 million. Let's just show what you can buy in London. Hello and welcome back, and now we have an incredible guest from the Seychelles who's already been on the show, and now he's very quickly becoming a correspondent from the Seychelles as well. Now I have to read off his name because it's quite a long name, which he will describe in a minute as well. So his name is Claude Bonte de Beau Vallon. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Ian. Thanks.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
So first of all, just give us a little insight into the background of how you lived in Britain, then you went to the Seychelles, now you're back in Britain again, then you're going back, and then you're coming back again. So give us an insight.
Yeah, sure. When I was in 1981, there was a coup d'etat in Seychelles, so my family basically left and came to England. I was 12 years old, so I went to secondary school here. I didn't have a choice, I was a young kid. When I came here, it was a bit of a culture shock because it was very, very different from what I was used to. So I did a lot of paper rounds and Saturday jobs and all kinds of things as I was growing up, 15, 16. I wanted to get a computer, and my parents said, well, Your mum can be a financier, but you're going to have to work and buy it yourself. So that's when I started learning to be an entrepreneur. So I did all that. And then 17, I worked in the insurance business, I'd say 17 to 20. And I wanted to be a professional musician at the time. So I started doing that when I was about 20, 21. And then the Berlin Wall came down around 1991 or something like that. And that had a knock-on effect on the world, including Seychelles. So the president of the day invited the other people, the entrepreneurs from before, to come back to Seychelles. My father was one of them. So when he went back, I went back with him. Because I was, as a musician, you're doing a bit of this and a bit of that. But when I went back, another culture shock, because it was so different from what I was used to when I was a young kid. So I stayed there for a while, and I didn't like it, and I just came back to England. But then I went back on holiday.
Terrific. Just before we carry on, shall we show a very short video now of the Seychelles
Why
as well?
not?
Because it looks
Beautiful.
majestic, magical. Let's see this video of the Seychelles.
absolutely stunning. So when you come back to London
Yeah.
after living in the Seychelles, do you think, oh my goodness, I've got to get back to the Seychelles?
You know, it's interesting. When I'm at Heathrow Airport, there is this familiarity, because obviously I grew up here. And I love the place. I mean, I really do. I'm here for a short time. When I come in winter, it's a different story. When I come in winter, it's black outside. It's raining, it's cold. But I'm still thankful to be here with all the activity going round and everything. But when I've been here for about a month, I kind of think about it and I think, well, all these people, tomorrow for them is not going to be different to yesterday. And I see the plane out there, and the big mirror, a big glass, and I know I'm going to jump on that, and then the next day I'm going to be in Seychelles, and I think, wow, I'm very blessed. That's when I really think I'm blessed, because I have the choice.
Mm.
What do you see are the values of the Seychelles now, and what would be interesting to Britain? You know, if there were British investors wanting to go into the Seychelles, what type of things, with your help, because I know you have tremendous connections in the Seychelles as well, what type of issues, what type of opportunities are there?
There are many opportunities. First of all, quality of life. I think people stuck in the rat race in London have realised now, I want to be somewhere else. You know, I'm fed up with this rat race, and they want to be somewhere with nice weather. They want to ideally be in an English-speaking place. They would like to go to the beach every so often. The beauty about Seychelles is, if you look at Condé Nast, we have the top 20 beaches in the world. Right? So nice beaches is a given. It's all there. It's a tiny little place. An Englishman came there a long time ago and he said it's about the size of Wandsworth. Well, you can drive around it for a day. So everywhere is near where you want to be. Very, very simple. Also these days people are working online, they're working remotely. Well, what better remote place to work from than somewhere like Seychelles? It's 3 hours ahead. So you can get a plane and come down within 10 hours. And so for those reasons, I think if anybody really does want to come and have a look at possibly working in Seychelles as you know, for the quality of life, it's an absolutely awesome place to work from.
I know that we were saying as well, what a backdrop. I mean, anywhere you are, you've got this beautiful backdrop.
We go on trails, you know, like I go on trails up the mountain, and when you go up the mountain, you can see everything all around you, and it is amazing. We also have different islands. We have 92 different islands, Bird Island, Frigate Island, you name it, and they've all got their special charm. They've all got their special charm. It really is, it's a very interesting place. And also the Seychelles people, they can look like me, they can look like you, they can look like her, they can look like many different people. We're an eclectic mix.
Fabulous. I know that you're a business authority in the Seychelles.
Sure.
And you really help people and inspire them to do what they want to do.
Yeah, that's a good one. I run business groups. This started in London. I used to work in the Mandarin and Grosvenor House, and we got business people together so that they can pass work to each other. If you get a banker, an estate agent, an insurance man, or whatever, you lock the doors, they're going to talk and they're going to pass some work to each other. It's exactly the same thing. You can't succeed alone. You need other people's help. Whatever you're doing, you need a lot of support. You need to learn from other people. Now, when I went to Seychelles, I thought this is interesting because I know they did that in my father's time, which was a whole generation, 50 years ago, whatever. These days, the young people look at things in a different way, let's just say. But I'm old school, so I know I'm going to need your help and his help and so on and so on and so on. And I started Eden Island VIP, so people actually came together. And so the surprising thing is it worked. They started passing work to each other. That'll make your life easier. We've done 2 seminars. We've had Rachel Elenoff came for one, Gerald Ratner came for the other one. So we bring people from England to Seychelles. We're doing another one this year as well. And then they impart their wisdom because people are the same wherever you go. You know, the business, the currencies might be different, but the actual essence is the same. Sometimes it can be, believe it or not, sometimes it can be very, very hard doing business in a small place. You know, just because the familiarity, people have to know you, they have to trust you, and they have to like you. You know, how do you get to that level? And also, in England, whatever business you do, you've got an enormous market, millions of people You know, think about it. With less than 100,000 people, you better be good at what you do, and you don't have that many people to buy from you either. So you will always need people's help.
And that's Eden Island.
Eden Island, yeah.
Yeah.
Eden Island is like a man-made island, and it's a really unique little place. And there's restaurants there, and there's shops and things like that. And since Eden Island started to become popular, this is about 10 years ago when they were making a big thing. I actually thought about it from a marketing perspective. If you've got an area like that or a thing that you can tag onto, then you might as well. So it was just something that came out of nowhere. I thought Eden Island VIP. VIP, very interesting people, very important person, whatever you want it to mean. And so Fridays, there's Eden Blue Hotel, which is where we do these meetings. And then there's Eden Island with a few cafes and things like that. I thought, call it Eden Island VIP, you know. And it works. We were lucky enough to get to work with Hilton as well. And we were actually going to call another group Hilton VIP. But it became the Mahe Council as a think tank. So we work with the Hilton hotels in Seychelles as well. We have a very good relationship with them. We do exactly the same thing. And they're happy. Why are they happy? Because for some of them, the GM sits in our meeting, and all these people are coming to his hotel. So we're like his non-exec marketing department. So they're all happy, like everybody gains.
Very good, thank you.
What do you think are the most successful businesses in the islands?
That's an interesting question. People that do things to do with boats and fishing or game fishing and taking people out on boats and tourism and things like that, I would say some of them do very well. In the past, offshore people have actually done quite well, but understand it's a very small economy. And this is a question that people have asked me over and over again. And I look at it in a completely different way. I actually think every human being is wired in a different way, is wired in a unique way to do something. And it's not only what are they buying out there, but it's a case of what was I really born to do? And then what does everybody else want? And if you can get into that zone where those three cross, so you're doing what you love doing, people want to buy it, and it's what you were born to do, you're graced. You'll find something you love doing and you'll never work another day in your life. And I think this is it. And you're not going to make big money like you do here. You'll make enough to live and probably a little bit more to save. So, I'm okay with that.
Very good. And you're obviously this central voice in the Seychelles.
Thank you.
And I see that there's lots of things that we can work together on, which is something for the near future.
Yeah, sure. I have these crazy things, like something I did around COVID time, nobody could do anything. It was just one of those times. And this was funny. You can see it on the internet, I had a chest, like the old chest that you put all the old stuff in, the big suitcase, like an old chest. And because my father was the first man to do insurance in Seychelles, a general insurance company of the Seychelles, and he came from a poor family from a little island. He went into business with the leader of a global brain. You remember brother typewriter, brother printer, the head of brother. They came together and they made the first insurance company, hotels, video in the room, in the hotel rooms, and many things, speedboats, you name it. So that was a very interesting time for everybody, really. And I think what happened was, I watched, as a young kid, I watched what they did, and I thought, wow, this is really quite something. I mean, if you really push yourself hard enough, you can achieve something. And today I'd say it's kind of it's a little bit different. But this is the thing, that spirit of collaboration is really, I think, the thing that counts, You
have a very eclectic mix of opportunities, I understand that. And one of them is Movers and Shakers, which is your own documentary series. Tell us about Movers and Shakers. Yeah,
Movers and Shakers, that was interesting. That is a program about entrepreneurs, and it's about their story, because all the learnings come from their story. And these people, they have businesses, and some of them have been very successful. Some of them came from overseas, some of them are Seychellois, but they've all got a very unique story and a very unique path. Like the first guy that we did, Alfred Fourcroy, he comes from Belgium, and he did a shop called ISBC. It's like a big warehouse, if you will, and he was trading with hotels, and then people started buying some stuff from him. Then he did DIY and a few other things, so that's him. And then we've got Dr. Archie Brain. Two Englishmen meet in Seychelles, okay? One's a doctor, but his
Sounds like a joke.
It just sounds like a joke, yeah. There's two Englishmen, they met in Seychelles. But he's not just a doctor, he's an inventor. He's a doctor stroke inventor.
Yes.
If you ever have an operation, they'll put something in your throat to help you breathing while you're under anaesthetic.
Yes.
It's called the laryngeal mask. Dr. Archie Brain invented this. You can look at it, Google it, okay?
Oh.
So Dr. Archie Brain and Robert Gaines Cooper meet in Seychelles. And Archie tells me, he says, I'm no businessman, Claude. So it's a bit like a bridge, they came together, you know, the inventor and the businessman. And this chap, Gaines Cooper, he's passed away now. He was into casinos and pop stars and things, and he got on a wrong flight and ended up in Seychelles. That's how he came there. It's a very, very funny story. Yeah. So then, he was telling us a little bit about how we did that. I was like, wow. So we have very, very interesting people. And the reason I'm actually doing it is to teach the youth, the up-and-coming youth, when they look at businessmen, it's hard work for a long time. And you can go bust, and you have to go past all those pitfalls. You're not going to make $1 million like that. You know, you can ask anyone that is successful. You have to have some originality about what you do. So
you're passionate about making documentaries.
Yes.
And you've got, I think, a different subsection. I don't know what you said.
Yeah, sure. The other one is that I've been working on for the last 5 years is it's called A Tale of Two Lawyers. Our first two presidents were James Montcalm and Albert René, and they were two lawyers. They studied law in England. Then they went to Seychelles, and James Montcalm lasted for 1 year. He was overthrown. Then Albert René became the president. So they're the kind of the founding fathers, if you will. Now their story is quite an interesting story because many things happened. So we had that, 1981 there was a mercenary attack. You could read about that, Mad Mike Hall and his cronies from South Africa. There was that. And then, what else was there? Gérard Hauer got assassinated on the streets of London in Edgware. That was shortly after. There's been many things, and then the Berlin Wall came down, everybody went back. So it's, excuse my French, but it is one hell of a story when you actually look at it like that. Someone's got to tell it. And I think the thing is, I was very blessed to be very close to James Montcalm. He was like an uncle to me. And I was talking to his stepson, and we were chatting and things, and we said, we've got to tell this story. We've got to tell this story. And I think I looked at all the stuff I already had, and then all the stuff I could get. I interviewed anybody who's anybody in Seychelles. I interviewed them. Maxime Ferrari, his name is, was on the UN, and there was talk that he could have been the Prime Minister of Seychelles one time. He was a doctor, very clever guy, and I interviewed him in his 90s. I've got about 2 or 3 hours with him on a video, but he's gone. And when these people have gone, the story's gone. So you got to get them, and you got to do it now. That's my thing. So I work quite hard on it.
It's always good to share stories, though. I think,
Absolutely.
no matter what. And we discussed prior about tracing Seychelles. Mm-hmm. Is that something that you're working on as well? Is that a documentary? Have I misunderstood that?
No. The other one. Sorry.
Was it tracing Seychelles, or because we were talking about how there's some similarities between the UK and the Seychelles, and obviously the royal family and various things, and you were interested in...
Yeah, the Queen came to Seychelles, I believe. Well, she came to Seychelles to open the airport in 1973. Princess Anne came to Seychelles, and Prince William and Kate, they got married on a North Island in Seychelles. So Seychelles was a British colony, and there's a lot of links between Seychelles and England. I mean, there's a lot of similarities and collaborations and things like that. So it's one of those things. I mean, obviously everybody speaks English, and there was a time, or there was talk a long time ago before independence, where what they really wanted was they wanted Seychelles to, although it was going to be kind of independent, but we would still have the British there, as it were, like France and La Réunion. But in the end, the powers that be decided to go for a complete independence. Even that's an interesting an interesting subject. I actually did a talk show called "What Would Happen If We Didn't Have Independence," and then I got 3 or 4. I have to send it to. I had 3 or 4 people that were there at the time, and that was interesting as well. So there's a lot of you know, a lot of similarities.
I love your stories. You're a great talker. You've got a lot to share, which is really fun.
I liken the Seychelles really to the Hawaiian Islands, and I had a lot of involvement with the Hawaiian Islands. And there used to be a phrase from the Hawaiian Islands called island fever.
Mm-hmm.
And what island fever was that there are, I mean, again, like the Seychelles, Hawaiian Islands was actually a UK dependency till 1880. It still has the Union Jack in the corner of the Hawaiian flag. They still have a lot of ceremonies as well. So there's a lot of Brits who are now permanent in there. And I remember talking to them one day, some of these people, and they saying, we can't leave the island. You know, they called it island fever. And I just wondered whether there's a similar type of feeling in the Seychelles.
Well, I can tell you there's a band called Island Fever. They're a very good band as well. They play some really nice music. Island Fever. Yeah, there is something very unique about Seychelles. I've come across many people that have been in tears when they leave Seychelles. And that can be people that's only visited it once, or it can be people that's visited several times. I think once you actually come to Seychelles, if you stay for two weeks or you stay for a month, you get in that kind of flow. And you realize that for the first time in a long time, it's just about relaxing. It's just about letting the world go by, being in your own little corner, maybe going swimming every day in the morning, watching a sunrise. Some people buy these beautiful flats and they come to Seychelles every 3 months, every 6 months they come for a month because they just want to get away from Europe. They want to have an escape door.
Claude, I'm already there. I'm there. See you soon.
So it is once you've experienced it, let's say, it's a unique experience. It really is.
So finally, because time has caught up with us as always, how can people get in contact with you?
They can get in contact with me probably by Facebook. Claude Bonte de Beau Vallon. You just type it into Facebook, and they can send me a message.
Excellent.
Great.
Claude, thank you so much for your time today. As always, we've been talking together for probably about a year now.
Sure.
And you came on the show a while back from using Skype.
Yeah, sure.
At long last, we've got you in the studio.
And you're coming back in December.
Yeah.
And so you're now our Seychelles correspondent.
Great.
Have a great time, Australia. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay, thank you very much.
You.
And now we're very pleased to have one of the semi-finalists for Miss England this year, Charlotte Young. Now, Charlotte Young, as I understand it, is a genius. Now, we will introduce you first. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hi,
Thank
Charlotte.
you for having me.
And now we're going to play a video to explain why you are potentially a genius.
Hi everyone, my name is Charlotte and I'm a 25-year-old PhD researcher at UCL, which is currently it's based in London. My interesting fact would be that I was on ITV's most recent social strategy game called The Genius Game, hosted by David Tennant, so you should have a watch if you haven't already. To start leading with my Beauty with Purpose project, I want to ask a question to everyone. How many of you had a vaccine during the COVID-19 pandemic? And now think about the billions of people that did. Where did all of that plastic waste go? All of those plastic needles? Over 16 billion injections are given per year, annually, and that all builds up into this clinical waste. Even worse, in lower income countries, these needles are reused, and that leads to increased HIV and hepatitis. My Beauty with a Purpose project is my own initiative. I want to create these 3D printed biodegradable microneedles which combat all of the plastic waste and also reduce the risk of reuse. This project is something that has been led by me. I'm doing it separately from my PhD because I truly believe that combining scientific innovation with global impact will be what we need to help save this planet and also all the people in it. Thank you.
Fun. Lots of cheers there.
So you've been a genius contestant. You're now a semi-finalist in Miss England. is there anything else you want to do in life?
Well, I'd really like to push my Beauty with a Purpose project forward, which is our own kind of initiative that we want to support during the Miss England competition. And I gave a little bit of an introduction as to what that was in that video there. But I'm trying to combat all of the plastic waste that comes from needles. And it's just a process that I really thought about during COVID. And now I actually have a chance to kind of push that through and do it with my own research as well.
Excellent.
Amazing. So you're a PhD student in drug delivery systems, but that is slightly separate?
Yeah,
Is
so
that right?
it is something that's separate to my PhD, and I'm really thankful to be able to use the resources that I have. So whilst my group is not super focused on the drug delivery aspect, that's something that I wanted to do for my own PhD goal. The research on the plastic kind of alternative using the microneedles and biodegradable microneedles, that would be something I'm doing completely separate to my PhD, just in my own time, something like a side project.
Now, it's not a contradiction because I know the majority of contestants from Miss England are very intelligent young girls like yourself, but why enter Miss England? What were the values that you see in entering Miss England, and what are the values you're trying to get from competing?
So I think Miss England and in general pageants have taken a shift from the traditional way of what pageants usually show. And while some people may say, oh, it's how you look and present yourself on the outside, I think Miss England right now is currently trying to stop all of these like stereotypes that have been shown from before. And they really are a brilliant platform to showcase how brilliant young girls can be. It's a place where you can showcase your talents, showcase what you stand for. They helped me get a place on this show as well, and so that I can share my story and what I truly believe in as well. I think it's an amazing place where you can show who you are as a person and not just how you look like or how you present yourself. And that is one of the
Sure.
yeah, I can show my sash.
Lovely.
Absolutely.
So is Beauty with Purpose, is that a subsection within the
So
competition?
Beauty with a Purpose is the official charity run by Miss World, and Miss World is the step up from Miss England. So whoever wins Miss England will be the representative at Miss World, and Miss World decides from all of the different countries where they would like the money that they've raised to go to, which kinds of projects that each representative from each country has shown, and where that money will end up.
Now, I have, and I was trying to work this out because I had this message saying that you're grounded in science, shaped by the city. Explain.
So I was born in London, born and raised. I'm currently 25, and in these 25 years of my life, I spent 24 years in London. Very much a London girl. The only 1 year that I was out was for my master's, where I was in Cambridge doing biotechnology, and I instantly ran straight back. So not to say that Cambridge isn't a lovely city, because it really is, but I think something about London has just kept me always coming back, and I really enjoy the city. I think it has a huge display of culture. I think it's very inviting to everyone, no matter where you come from. And yes, shaped by science. I am a scientist by background. I did chemistry at UCL for my undergraduate. I did biotechnology at Cambridge for 1 year for my master's. And now I'm back at UCL again in London for my PhD.
Goodness me. Well, you certainly would slot in very well with the Earthshot Prize, Prince William's, the global impact. Is that what you're hoping to achieve?
I would love to be able to show I would find a project to settle on as well, to really push forward, and then perhaps if I had the chance to enter, then that would be an amazing ordeal. Currently, I am spending a lot more time on my PhD, and that has been a very big area of focus. If that's something that can co-align, then that would be amazing.
And obviously, you're very much into fempowerment, aren't you? Empowerment of women, because you have this deep belief, as I'm reading off from your notes, a deep belief that women can embody intelligence, strength, and elegance all at once. So, is that another reason why you wanted to really sort of bridge two lives, you know, one which is an academic and one which is more to do with presenting yourself in a beautiful but positive manner?
Definitely. I don't think that those two things should exist separately. There's been an abundance of examples of women who are both brilliantly intelligent in their own way. It doesn't have to be science, it can be literally anything. They're brilliant in their own way. They also are beautiful both on the inside and on the outside, and I think that's what Miss England is very great at showing, and that's what this pageant is about. And I've had experiences in different pageants where it wasn't quite like that, where they focus what is only on the skin and how you portray yourself just visually. And I'd have to say those experiences were a bit more disappointing than what I'm going through right now.
So a little bird's told me that you're an amazing gamer. Is this true? Have I been told correctly?
Yes. I've been playing a video game. It's called League of Legends. It's a 5-on-5 multiplayer game where you basically try and take an enemy's base before they take yours. So that's like the underlying principle of the game.
Are you competitive?
I am competitive.
I can see you're competitive. It's great.
Very competitive.
Are you ruthless?
Now that's not fair.
Well, in the Genius game on ITV, you can see me be rather ruthless. But it is only in the game, and if you get to know me in person, I'm not quite like that. I am very, very competitive.
That's great. Is that a game that you play? Can you play it with people in different countries?
Yeah, you can. So usually it's based on the server, and we play on the European server. So I play with people from France, Germany, Spain, and then of course America have their own server. China has their own server, Korea has their own server as well. So I don't play with people from very far, but people within the same continent. So,
yeah, amazing.
And you're really wanting to push the boundaries in healthcare, bringing back to...
It's going around it all.
Well, we just thought, we always like to get a rounded vision of you at the same time. What are your ambitions really in healthcare?
In healthcare, alongside with my PhD currently, I'm trying to create a delivery system that will work for any kind of drug. So it's a universal carrier. And the reason why my delivery system will be unique, the hopes of my delivery system being unique, is that I'm currently looking at the use of live bacteria, so probiotics. If you've come across them in like Holland and Barrett, they're the live bacteria that confer health benefits. And so millions of people readily take them every day to improve their gut health. And I thought, well, if I can try and find a way to include any kind of drug for any kind of disease that you might take, and then combine it with the already therapeutic impact that we have from probiotics, then maybe I can create something special here. Currently in the beginning phases of it, and I'm aware that if this was something that I would want to do for further along, I would need to think about like the business kind of aspects of it. But really, I just want to find a way to help people. And that has been my number one goal from the start. And it really came from my parents when they asked me, when I asked them, what do you want me to do with my life? As I've always done when I was younger. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? My dad is, something he said has always stuck with me. And he said, I just want you to be happy. And that comes first. And then second, if you can help people, then that's what I want you to do. And so those two things have always stuck with me. And I'm very happy right now as a person. I think I'm surrounded by a lot of good people. I'm doing everything that I want to do. And so now it's up for the second challenge, which is to help people. And that's what I hope my PhD can do.
Marvellous. How lovely to have inspiration from your parents like that. Number one, to be happy. It's so true. That's fabulous. So you're going to carry on with all these challenges.
Yes. Hopefully. I do believe that if there's something you want to do and you have a chance to take it, then just go. And if you fall flat on your face, it's okay because you tried. And you'll regret not trying. And that's something I don't want to live with. So.
Obviously, you're in your 20-somethings. What do you think are the ambitions of your age group that you talk to your peers at the moment? What are their ambitions for the future? What are they seeking in London? What are they seeking in the world, do you think?
So I think I'm very lucky to be surrounded by the people that I am, as I've mentioned before. A lot of my peers are also women in STEM, a lot of my colleagues are...
And I think you need to hitch up, sorry, we don't want to stop you in mid-flow, but...
Sorry. Yes.
Otherwise, that's great.
I need to pin it next time.
Carry on, sorry.
And there's people that have just started their PhDs, there are people that are finishing up, people looking for jobs in the healthcare industry, and I think that what they want to do is really utilize their PhDs in ways. So one of my colleagues has recently published a paper where she's been working on a machine that can dispense in a clinical trial in Spain personalized medicines for children. And the way that they've done that is that they've used these 3D printing machines to personalize each dose of the medicine, and they print it as the children require it, and it's been successful as well. So they're really looking for worldwide impact, and I think that's one of the things that I'm really proud of with the group that I'm in currently. We target translationable projects as opposed to researching for a PhD. So what we really want to do is have some sort of translatable change.
How important is AI as well? Because, the government is saying that AI is the future of healthcare. I worry about that, I think, at times. But how do you think? Do you think AI is something to be worried about? Do you think it's going to really transcend and create a wonderful new healthcare service? What is your opinion?
I think if AI is used properly, it's a very, very useful tool. We use it in all of our projects as well. I can give an example. So if I was in the lab and I wanted to test a drug and a bacteria and their reaction, I would have to manually test all the different strains of the bacteria, all of the different drugs, and then get a result. So the way AI would help me with that is if I had a database already and I could characterize those strains and those drugs, and I put it into a model, that model can now tell me what is it about a strain that gives a specific interaction with the drug. And then it can also predict, can this next strain that you want to test have the same interaction with the drug that you're looking for? So instead of me manually going into a lab and testing it out and then seeing it doesn't work, AI could give me to an 80% accuracy degree, say, this will give you that result that you're looking for. And then, of course, if you were to test it, you would have to validate that model, and that's when you do have to go into the lab to test it out. But it can basically find something, it can find the patterns that you might not think about, and it can find the patterns by taking it from a large data set, like of millions of data, millions of columns of data, so that you don't have to manually look through that. And I think that's a really important way of using AI. There are going to be different sort of negatives around the use of AI in healthcare. Even now, I think we see ChatGPT being used, and it doesn't always give out the most accurate of answers, or people are using it to write anything and everything, and there's a lot of plagiarism issues as well. But it's really how you decide you want to use it, and then if you use it in the correct way, you'll start to see the benefits.
Gosh, that's real. From what you're saying, it's such a saves time, doesn't it? Goodness me. Well, you've got such gusto and energy. It's lovely. Can't you feel it, Ian? Isn't it?
I can feel it.
Very bright. Fabulous.
So, finally, what is your potential future for yourself? Because really, as I look at you at the moment, you're almost like on parallel paths, aren't you? Part of it is someone who wants to be seen and talked about as a person, and part of it is being seen as someone who is really going to create great things in healthcare as well. But do they converge? Is there an end result?
I would really want to say that it's possible for these two paths to converge, and I would want it to be normal for these two paths to converge. I think you can be a spokesperson for healthcare. I don't think that I have to do one thing and not the other. And I would encourage all other girls, all other women who have this kind of passion and also do want to be seen to go up and step up and talk to your local news station or reach out to a newspaper. If you think you found something very special, then speak about it. And that's how you can secure funding, that's how you can talk to investors, how you can talk to stakeholders. Maybe you want to create a company with your product. Like, this is all something that you have to be comfortable with, because you could have the best idea in the world, but you don't have the confidence to take it through. And then it doesn't go anywhere. Because right now we're in a world where marketing, advertising, putting your idea out there is what sells in quotation marks.
And do you think Miss England helps with that?
Yes, I think Miss England is the perfect platform for this. I've only seen them been encouraging. I've only seen them give opportunities. There's no kind of discrimination. They've never commented on how I look. They've never commented on like my background or what I'm studying. We have people from musical theatre. We have vets. We have doctors. Previous winners have included doctors and aeronautical engineers. There's been a whole range of previous Miss Englands, and I also hope that I'm hoping that I can be the next one and I can take this title forward.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
And we obviously wish you so much success on your journey.
Absolutely.
You don't need the good lucks at all, because you're going to do so well.
How can people get in contact with you anyway, to support you in your endeavours?
So I'm pretty active on Instagram, I would say. My Instagram is Miki Shah, so Mikichar. Or you can also send me an email. Maybe we can put that down somewhere. It's a bit long. But yeah, if you type in Charlotte Young on Google, you can find my LinkedIn as well. So
Lovely.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your time
Thank
today.
you very
You've
much for
been a
having me.
fabulous ambassador for both healthcare, for being you, and also for Miss England semi-finalist as well. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I hope you've really enjoyed the show this week. So, Helena, what have been the highlights of the show this week for you?
Oh, do you know, I found it a very empowering show. Great guests, great content, and I feel really quite enthused to get out and, see things and enjoy London and, to talk. I think communication is key, and talking to people about things really gets you through things, and I think creates success. That's how I feel. And of course, the Royal News, as always, is very good.
And I think we have a breaking royal item.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So the breaking news is, and we've heard from Kensington Palace, have announced really that, and it's to do with the Princess of Wales, who is always, people are, what can I say, always wondering what's going on, and this is to do with her her cancer scare, etc. And she's now doing incredibly well, but there are a lot of people there who are sort of having a go because they're saying that she's not doing enough work, and there's various things, or she keeps cancelling things. And so it's come to light now that they're saying that Kensington Palace will just let people know very last minute if the Princess of Wales is going to turn up to certain events. And I think we recently saw the video that we've just seen just now where the Princess of Wales actually turned up. It's at Colchester Hospital. This was a wellbeing garden. It was bought from Chelsea Flower Show. And we thought that she was just there to, not just there to, but she was, her rose, the Catherine Rose, which is being sold at the moment by David Austin Roses. A large percentage of that is going to charity, to cancer care. And she actually sat down, and it was a round table discussion where she was talking about recovery and how it's absolutely changed her life. And, you put on a brave face, but you've still got the recovery to go. Just because you've finished your cancer treatment, actually you've changed as a person, incredible tiredness, and you just don't know how and where you're going, and you just try your hardest to move on. So she's trying her hardest. She wants to be back, and she wants to be working full time all the time, but obviously it's a gradual return, and I think everybody, the public, has to realise that this is something which is very normal, and once you have any kind of I don't know, illness, you do change as a person as well. So she has made it very, very, very clear that this period is incredibly difficult. So people, come on, we just have to be a caring world. We have to be kind. It's so, so important. And, you know, good for her, you know, speaking out.
So that's royal breaking news. As we are coming on air today, this has broken this news as well. So we hope these days, with our royal news especially, to actually be up to date, up to the minute, with the knowledge that we want to share with you for the world. So as always, at the end of the show, first of all, can I thank Heladon Castrati from ALB UK TV, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck from USA Global TV and Radio, our American co-founder and a person of great help as well. Nancy Duen from China, who we are working with at the moment. And it is really, I hope, the type of show now that will go from strength to strength. So for me, Ian Pelham-Turner.
And Helena Shard, that's me.
Have a great week. We'll see you again next week. And we have some more incredible guests. Stay tuned.
Take care.